Morning children, standard 9, subject English, lessons name My Financial Career. Yes children, yesterday we have studied in the part 1 that the manager, he felt that the writer had some awful secret to reveal. So the writer should have avoided the word alone in his request to see the managers. And then we have seen that how the manager thought his visitor was one of the Pinkerton's man. So the accountant's name was Mr. Montgomery. He was asked to deal with the narrator's business. Okay, children, this is what we have studied it in our previous part 1. Okay, now we are going to go for the further studies, that is of the part 2. So every one of you all just pay attention over here. The teacher will start reading over here. Okay, so here goes with my reading that I went up to the accountant's wicket and pocket and poked the ball of money at him with a quick conclusive movement as if I were doing a conjuring trick. My face was ghastly pale. Here, I had deposited it. The tone of the words seemed to mean, let us do this painful thing while the fate is on us. He took the money and gave it to the another clerk. He made me write the sum on a slip and sign me. Name in the book, I no longer knew what I was doing. The bank swam before my eyes. Is it deposited? I asked in a hollow, vibrating voice. It is said that. It is said. The accountant. Then I went to draw a check. Okay, children. So my idea was to draw out the $6 of it for the present use. Someone gave me a checkbook through a wicket and someone else began telling me how to write it out. The people in the bank had the impressions that I was an invalid millionaire. I wrote something on the check and thrust it in at the clerk. He looked at me. What are you doing in all out again? He asked in surprise when I realized that I had written $56, 56 instead of 6. I was too far gone to the reason now. I had a feeling that it was impossible to explain the things. All the clerks had stopped writing to look at me. Okay, children, this is what I have read it now. I am going to explain it to you all from here. Okay, so here in this lesson, what has happened in the further part. Okay, so now there was what then accountant. An accountant, the author of this lesson had to first give the money to the accountant. Okay, so he then had to write the sum on the slip and sign his name in a book. So the author wrote a check for $56 instead of the $6, and this was the error over there. Okay, children, so here this is what it has said it in this part. I hope you all have understood it. Okay, now moving on to the ending part of the lesson. So every one of you all just pay attention over here. Okay, so the teacher is reading, every one of you all just pay attention over here. Reckless with misery, I made and plunged, yes, the whole thing. You withdraw your money from the bank, every cent of it. Are you not going to deposit any more? Said the clerk, astonished. Never. An idiot hope struck me that they might think something had insulted me while I was writing the check, and that I had changed my mind. I made a wretched attempt to look like a man with a fearful quick temper. The clerk prepared to pay the money. How will you have it? He said. What? What? How will you have it? Oh, I caught his meaning and answered without even trying to think in the 50s. In the 50s, he gave me a $50 bill and the six he asked dryly. In 60s, I said. He gave it me and I rushed out. As the big door swung behind me, I caught the echo of a roared laughter and went up to the ceiling of the bank. Since then, I bank no more. I kept my money in cash in my trousers pocket and my savings in the silver dollars in a socks. Okay children, so this is what it has. I have read it. Now I am going to explain it to you all. Okay, so every one of you all just pay attention over here. Now here what the author is trying to say. Here the author is saying that the officials at the bank were astonished. Okay, so the writer's behavior. Now the writer was terribly very nervous. So what he did, he thought that if he would look as if he had been insulted and was hence withdrawing his money, they might not laugh at him. So he pretended to appear like a bad tempered man. And then suddenly, after some of the episodes at the bank, what happened? The author has decided that he was not keep in that he will not keep his money in a bank anymore. He will keep his bank in cash in his trouser pocket, and his saving in the silver dollars in a socks. Okay children, so this is what the lesson was there. I hope every one of you all must have understood it. Thank you.